So yes, hello everyone. Good evening to all. Just confirm me once in the chat box that my voice is audible. Sir, we have one chat box in this Zoom platform and on the YouTube platform as well. So just confirm me once that my voice is audible. Okay, thank you, sir. So today we have a very important subject. Today we have a very important topic on which we are going to discuss the important facts related to that particular subject, that particular topic. Okay. So before moving ahead, I just want certain commitments from your side. Okay. So the first commitment, this session should be interactive. Sir, if you have any question, any doubt, any point, in that case, you just need to raise the point. You just need to raise the question in the chat box. We'll take your query immediately. We have no any Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Okay. This is our very special webinar. In this particular webinar, we are not going to discuss on provision of law. We'll discuss what are the things we need to do in a practical way so that our client base will increase. Also, we can satisfy our client. Also, we'll discuss on certain specific things related to practical aspects. Okay. So this will be a complete bunch related to your practical exposure in the GST. We can say, multiple things are there. We'll discuss in a Q&A form. Okay. So I just request this session should be interactive. The mode of communication of this session will be Hindi and English both. We'll try to use English language as much as possible. We may take certain examples in Hindi language, but we'll convert the same into English for your comfort. Okay. So I once again request everyone, if possible for you, then you may share the link of this webinar to your other professional groups, to your other professional friends, so that others can easily join the same. So let's start our discussion on this specific topic, on this specific subject, that is mastering practical GST guide. And we are going to start our discussion. Yes, sir. I, CA Sachin Jain, will going to discuss with multiple things related to this specific point. If you have any question, take note of that. Also, if possible, just keep one pen and paper with you so that if you will found any specific point, important point, you can take note of that. Okay. So also you will receive this PDF file on your registered mail ID. Okay. And this particular book, this particular module is in handwritten format. Okay. कई बार हम लोग क्या है कि ट्रेडिशनल चीजें पढ़ पढ़ के बोर हो गए. Hence we have created this specific PDF file with Q&A only. Okay. We have multiple questions related to practice and we'll discuss the each and every practical point. Let's start our discussion from the first point or first question. My first question is that सर व्हाट इज द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ जीएसटी. हम लोग बहुत प्रैक्टिकली आज हम लोग डिस्कस करने वाले हैं कि साहब जीएसटी है क्या, उसके बाद में उसके प्रैक्टिकल पर्सपेक्टिव्स क्या है, उसके बाद में हम लोग बात करेंगे कुछ टेक्निकल पॉइंट्स के, ताकि whenever I will deal with my client, I will be in a situation to provide the efficient information to my client. That is what is the motive of this particular webinar, to enhance your ability. Okay. So now, yes, background of GST. I am not going to share with you any theory. I am talking from practical perspective only. So, sir, what is the background of this GST? Background 2003 से चल रहा है. Since 2003, we are going. Our team were discussing on this particular GST. Okay. Now we are in scenario that from 1st July 2017, GST is there in between all of us. Okay. So now the point is that before GST, we have multiple laws. Okay. We have custom, we have excise. Custom is also right now, custom is also there. So we have excise, we have CST, we have weight, we have service tax, we have luxury tax, we have entry tax. So there are a lot of taxes are there prior to GST regime. But the point is that after that particular GST implementation, all these particular laws side away ho gaye. Okay. But government has said that there are 5 specific petroleum products on which GST will be applicable on a future date. That means on these 5 petroleum product, government has not defined the date for application of GST. और सर अगर आपसे पूछ ले कोई, what is the reason क्यों गवर्नमेंट ने उनके ऊपर एप्लीकेबल नहीं किया ये GST? So the reason is that उन 5 पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट पे जीएसटी ऑलरेडी, दैट मींस द टैक्स व्हिच इज कलेक्टेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट इज हायर देन द रेट under GST, because in GST we have maximum tax rate is 28%, but now government is charging around 42% on these 5 petroleum products, and government is not in situation to implement GST on these 5 petroleum products. Okay, also for regularization of GST we have one specific GST council, क्योंकि जब मैं प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूं, मैं जिस चीज की प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूं, सपोज आई एम प्रैक्टिसिंग इन द इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन फील्ड, देन there is requirement that I have idea about the each and every it and but of that law. Okay, अगर मुझे उसके हर each and every it and but का knowledge नहीं होगा, in that case I will not be in situation to run my practice in a effective way. Because आप लोग भी देख रहे होंगे, everyone is filing the GSTR 1 and 3B, everyone is filing the GST annual return, GSTR 9 and 9C, but the question is that how many of them are filing it correctly? This is the biggest question. How many of them who have the idea about the provisions of law? Because without provisions of law, I will not be in situation to file the proper return. In that case, whenever there will be any scrutiny, whenever there will be any audit, this will be the situation which is very much trouble for the clients. और अब हम लोग देखने भी लग गए कि कई सारे लोग प्रोफेशनल्स के पास में आ रहे हैं just to take the advice related to certain matters, and the biggest reason for this specific thing that we have no practical knowledge, we have no theoretical knowledge, we have no provision related knowledge that how we can file the returns, how we can manage our practices. The prima facie target of all of us is just to verify or reconcile the GSTR 1 and 3B, GSTR 3B and 2B. There are a lot of things are there in GST. If I'm going to start the discussion on that particular GST, in that case, I require around 2 to 3 months for discussion on each and every para in a detailed way. But what we are doing, we are just filing the returns. This is the biggest problem. So in this particular session, I am going to provide the insights that what are the things which is very much relevant and we need to know before initiating our practices in GST. वरना होगा क्या, क्लाइंट आएगा, if there will be any notice in future, वो क्लाइंट हमको छोड़ करके चला जाएगा, और वो जाएगा वो ठीक है, उसके साथ में 4 लोग और जाएंगे. This is the biggest problem. So as a professional, or if I am a tax return preparer, or I am a tax consultant, I am an advocate, I am a GST practitioner, also there is requirement that I need to know the each and every conceptual aspect of GST, technical aspect of GST, analytical aspects are GST. Okay, so in GST we have total 3 aspects. One is my conceptual aspects, we need to know. Another is my technical aspect, and third one is my analytical aspects. I am going to share with you the logics of these 3 aspects as well. My conceptual aspect is my provision of law. When I am initiating my practice in GST in indirect taxation, at that time I need to know the concept of law. At least if I have no idea about each and every section, then also there is requirement that I need to have the basic idea related to the provisions. That will be called as my conceptual clarity or conceptual aspect. I also need have the technical aspects. Technical aspect is to file a correct return, whether it is a GSTR 1, GSTR 3B, whether it is a GSTR 2A reconciliation, whether it will be a GSTR 9, 9A, GSTR 4, CMP 08, GSTR 7, GSTR 8, GSTR 4, GSTR 5, ITC 01, 02, 03, 04. So there are a lot of returns and forms are there in GST. So the first requirement is that I need to have the idea about the technical aspects related to filing of returns. And third one is my analytical aspect, how I am going to analyze the provision of law, how I am going to implement that particular provision of law in my practical scenario. That is what is the important things. इसलिए हमने ये वाला सेशन आज रखा, that is master grow your practices. And for practicing your, for growing your practices, client अपने आप आएगा. The first requirement is that you need to have the idea about these 3 things. In maximum cases we have idea about the technical aspect कि कैसे मुझे GSTR 1 भरना है, how I can file my GSTR 1 return, GSTR 3B return, GSTR 2A का reconciliation, GSTR 9 and 9C. सर ये तो कोई भी कर लेगा, एक बार अगर आप उसको प्रोसेस बनाओगे, that person will easily handle these things. But first we need to take the conceptual clarity. Then we need to implement that conceptual clarity while doing the technical work in GST, that is filing of various returns, filing of registration application, filing of amendments. जब मैं रजिस्ट्रेशन एप्लीकेशन फाइल करता हूं, एट दैट टाइम पोर्टल इज डिमांडिंग फॉर द जुरिडिक्शनल अथॉरिटी. 70% of us are wrongly filed that jurisdictional authority, or due to that our file will be transferred to state authority instead of CGST, or our file will be transferred to CGST instead of SGST, and due to that at the time of litigation this will be a very dangerous situation for us. बहुत छोटा सा point है, but implication is very huge. While putting the HSN code, 40% of the taxpayers are putting wrong HSN code in the particular registration application. These are not my facts and figures. These are the facts and figures which is uh, reviewed and released by the departmental authorities time to time. And the main reason for this mistake is that we have no conceptual clarity. We are just going to focus on the technical aspect. And after that technical aspect, we need to have the idea about the analytical aspect, that how I am going to analyze the provision of law. At the time of any litigation, at the time of preparing the reply, at the time of filing the appeal, at the time of litigation, I need to analyze the provision of law. So जब तक मुझे conceptual पता नहीं है, मुझे technical पता नहीं है, I will not be in a situation to provide the analytical advice. And nowadays we are seeing this particular situation that many of the accountants, many of the tax practitioners, many of the GST consultants are just filing the return, and whenever any notices come from the departmental authority, they are not in situation to provide the proper reply. They are also not in situation to analyze that particular notice. The basic reason is that we don't have the idea about conceptual, about technical, about analytical. And आने वाला time, we all know that government is going to simplify that GST law. Very soon there will be complete mechanism which will be technical, that means technology driven. There is no requirement to file any GSTR 1 and 3B. This will be automatically filed. Just put the data through your mobile phone, your return will be automatically filed. This will be the technology which will come very soon. So जो लोग return file कर रहे हैं, how will survive? So for that purpose these type of webinars are there. That's how we can manage our practices, how we can learn the conceptual, how we can learn the technical, how we can learn the analytical aspects. I know in this 1 hour I'm not able to give you the complete details about all these aspects, but I am going to share with you the insights of these things. So बैकग्राउंड ऑफ जीएसटी, मल्टीपल लॉज यहां पर गए और एक सिंगल लॉ आया, तो हम सभी लोग समझ सकते हैं द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ जीएसटी, the quantum of complexity of GST. That is what is the important thing we need to understand from the GST. Okay, जब मैं बात करता हूं ना किसी एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट की, उस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे भी हमको डिटेल्ड नॉलेज होना चाहिए. जबकि प्रॉब्लम इज दैट whenever there will be a new notification, everyone is going on the YouTube and searching the relevant content, but no one is going to read that particular circular. This is the biggest problem. On YouTube, the maximum searches are related to the how we can file the GSTR 1 return, how we can file the GSTR 3B return, how we can file the GSTR 9 return, how we can file the GSTR 9C return. But no one is searching that what are the provisions which is applicable related to rule number 42, 43, 39. No one is searching that what do you mean by the section number 38, 39, 40, 41, 44, 45. These are the basic part of your law, and we need to have the idea about all these things. Okay, so let's again discuss on our topic now. Importance of GST. First we need to understand the importance of GST, because when I know the importance, then I will give the importance to that particular thing. अगर मुझे उस चीज की इंपॉर्टेंस पता नहीं है, I will not give so much importance to that particular aspect. Okay, मुझे कोई बीमारी लगेगी तभी मैं उसके बारे में पढ़ूंगा ना. If there will be no any disease, in that case I am not going to search for that particular thing. I will go through with that only and only after there will be certain things which will happen with me. So now importance of GST we need to know. Sir, हमको पता है आज अगर मैं ये पेन भी खरीदने के लिए जाता हूं, there will be application of GST on that buying of pen. On each and everything I am going to buy, there will be applicability of GST. And we all know the inflation, the economy, the GDP, due to that मेरे स्मॉल ट्रेडर का टर्नओवर भी क्रॉस कर जाता है 20 लाख रुपीस को, 40 लाख रुपीस को, which will be the specific limit to take the GST registration. You can easily understand the importance of that GST, that when a particular small trader has the requirement of this GST and there are huge litigations are there, because since 2017 till 2024, multiple returns have filed wrongly. There are certain things which will be wrongly put in the GST returns filed by various professionals, filed by various accountants. So the scope of litigation will be very huge in coming 1 to 2 years. और litigation के साथ the scope of filing the proper return will be very huge, क्योंकि client को पता चलेगा कि यार इसने मेरा return गलत फाइल किया था. Then after, your client will immediately change the tax consultant, the advocate, the legal practitioner. And a small taxpayer has also requirement to file the GST return, has also requirement to take advice related to GST. So this is the importance of GST. If someone is going to constitute a particular entity in business, in that case, that first thing which will come in that particular business entity, that is implication of GST in that particular industry. कोई product नया आता है, the first thing which will be come in mind, that what will be the implication of GST. If there will be a new exemption notification, the first thing, that what will be the impact of this exemption notification on my product, my services. इनकम टैक्स का कोई नोटिस, कोई सर्कुलर आता है, इतनी ह्यूज क्वांटिटी में कोई क्वेश्चन आंसर्स नहीं होते, बट इफ देयर विल बी एनी सर्कुलर ऑन जीएसटी, एवरीवन इज गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन दैट. दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ जीएसटी. तो इन सब बातों से आपको समझ आया होगा कि व्हाट इज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ जीएसटी इन करंट सिनेरियो एंड इन फ्यूचर मार्केट. So we need to ready ourselves from that particular competitive market, how we can survive, how we can provide the best consultancy services to our client. और अगर एक बंदे को आपने best consultancy services दे दी, that person will directly communicate to 10 persons that this person has provided me the right consultancy. आज इस सेशन के बाद अगर आपको ये वाला सेशन अच्छा लगा, in that case you will share the feedback with 10 people that we have joined that particular webinar और हमको अच्छा लगा. उससे क्या होगा, वो 10 people are going to search on Google CA Sachin Jain. The same example will be applicable in case of your practices. So this is the technique that to capture the clients in your market, in your practice. This is only one technique. Okay. If you are going to do the social media promotion, if you are going to do the Facebook promotion, Insta promotion, if you are going to make unnecessary expenditure on hoardings and further things, एक बार वो आपसे सर्विस ले सकता है. अगर आपने प्रॉपर एडवाइजरी नहीं दी, वो क्लाइंट भी जाएगा और 10 क्लाइंट साथ में जाएंगे. दिस इज द इश्यू. और अगर आपने एक क्लाइंट को सही एडवाइस दे दी, देन दिस विल बी योर माउथ पब्लिसिटी. योर क्लाइंट विल ऑटोमेटिकली कैप्चर 10 क्लाइंट्स फॉर यू. So this is the best technique to capture the client. Okay. So importance of GST, and the second point is my background of GST. Sir, are you getting my points? एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कंफर्म कर देना ना. Now I am expecting reply from each and everyone that are you getting the points? Now अब उस टॉपिक पे आ जाते हैं जिसपे सब लोग बात करते हैं, दैट इज रिटर्न्स एप्लीकेबल अंडर जीएसटी. सो कुछ नाम जो है हमको सबको पता है. वी ऑल नो दैट वी आर फाइलिंग द जीएसटीआर 3B रिटर्न, वी आर फाइलिंग द जीएसटीआर 1 रिटर्न. If I will deliberate in a proper way for GSTR 1 and 3B, then it will take around 6 hours to explain these two returns only. This is the complexity of GSTR 1 and 3B, because government is collecting the revenue from this GSTR 3B. Your buyer will getting the input tax credit from this GSTR 1. So the complete circulation of input tax credit is completely based on GSTR 1 and 3B. हम खुद अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं what will be the importance of this GSTR 1 and 3B. और हम लोग कितने मजाक में फाइल कर देते हैं. क्लाइंट विल शेयर विद अस द डेटा एंड वी आर गोइंग टू पुट द डेटा इन GSTR 3B रिटर्न, GSTR 1 रिटर्न, विल फाइल द रिटर्न ऑन द पोर्टल. वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू चेक दैट द रूल नंबर 42 43 इज एप्लीकेबल ऑन द क्लाइंट और नॉट. We are not checking that we need to show any expenditure in 17.5 or not. We are also not focusing that what will the implication of rule number 39. We are not focusing that if there will be any purchase return, we need to show in other reversals. If there will be any debit note, credit note on account of purchases, we need to show it. We are not focusing related to freight transportation RCM. We need to show in GSTR 1 return. We are not focusing that how we need to report the export related things in our GSTR 1 return. We are not focusing that the reconciliation of HSN code and GSTR 1 ki taxable value is not merely sufficient. कई बार हम लोग सोचते हैं टैक्सेबल वैल्यू मेरी एचएसएन कोड से क्रॉस वेरीफाई हो गई, दैट मींस माय रिटर्न इज परफेक्ट, माय जीएसटीआर 1 इज परफेक्ट. दिस इज द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक. Sir, the quantum of HSN code, the quantity which you are going to provide, the HSN code which you are going to put in your GSTR1 return, that should be matched with your registration application. Because जब scrutiny audit आता है ना, they are going to analyze all those things. Recently, government has announced approx 260 additional paras for raising the demand under GST. आप लोग सोच सकते हो, अभी तक स्क्रूटनी वाले रिटर्न्स में 5 से 7 पैरा आते हैं, उसमें वी आर नॉट एबल टू प्रोवाइड द प्रॉपर रिप्लाई. Now government has introduced 260 additional paras. What will be the implication of these paras? Just keep in your mind due to these GSTR 1 and 3B. So the complete circulation is based on that. Now, when you are filing the GSTR 9 return, GSTR 9C return, the basic logic of these returns is not to get the reconciliations in the mind of government. हम लोग क्या सोचते हैं, these GSTR 9 and 9C return just for the reconciliations? No, sir. These 9 and 9C returns are for the calculation of the revenue which government has to receive. The total input tax credit, the circulation of input tax credit, which will be done by that particular taxpayer during that particular financial year. The amount of tax which is paid by the taxpayer, this is also one logic for GSTR 9 and 9C. Not merely the reconciliations are the purpose. We are just going to do that all the data extracted from GSTR 1, all the data extracted from GSTR 3B, and we are filing the GSTR 9 return if the GSTR 1 and 3B is matches. With that, we need to focus the cash payment. We need to focus on the rate of GST applicable on the product or services. सर हम खुद एक बार एक एग्जांपल सोच लें, जब क्लाइंट हमको डेटा बेचता है, क्या हमने कभी पूछा कि भाई तू जिस प्रोडक्ट को बेच रहा है, व्हाट विल बी द रेट ऑफ जीएसटी एप्लीकेबल ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट? क्या तेरे पास में कोई नोटिफिकेशन है, क्या सर्कुलेशन है, या फिर हमने कभी कोई सर्कुलर एक्सट्रैक्ट किया गूगल से कि साहब इसका ये सर्कुलर है, ये वाला प्रोडक्ट मेरा क्लाइंट डील कर रहा है, and this is the circulation and this will be the rate applicable on that particular product. We need to analyze the component of mixed supply and composite supply as well. Sir, just once you need to provide these type of guidance to your client. Whatever amount of fees you will demand, your client will pay, because इस composite supply और mixed supply के कारण पूरा rate change हो जाएगा. So returns applicable under GST, basically we have GSTR 3B and GSTR 1 return, GSTR 9 and 9C return for the annual reconciliation with calculation of complete circulation of input tax credit, complete circulation or payment of output tax, complete payment through cash ledger, complete refund related inquiry, complete HSN related inquiry. So this is a bunch of your everything which you have filed in your GSTR 1 and 3B return, not merely the reconciliation. With that, there are certain ITC returns are also there, ITC 01, 02, 03, 04. If your client is dealing in the job work related activities, there is requirement of ITC 04. If there will be any merger, amalgamation, demerger of entities, in that case ITC 02. If there will be death of sole proprietor, in that case we need to require the ITC forms. So we need to have the idea about these ITC forms as well. हो सकता है रेगुलर ट्रेड एंड प्रैक्टिसेस में आई नीड टू फाइल द जीएसटीआर 1 and 3B, बट कभी कोई सिचुएशन आ गई और मुझे पता ही नहीं है, आई हैव नो आइडिया अबाउट द एप्लीकेबिलिटी ऑफ दीज आईटीसी फॉर्म्स. इन दैट केस हाउ आई कैन गाइड माय क्लाइंट दैट यू हैव टू फाइल द आईटीसी फॉर्म? When we are going to take the registration of our client, when we are going to take the registration of our client, or suppose that particular entity is an existing entity, वो मेरी existing entity है, उस situation के अंदर if that person is going to apply for the GST registration within 30 days from the liability, in that case the date of liability will be treated as the applicability date for availing the input tax credit. Or registration ke within 30 days I need to file the ITC 01. But suppose if I have no idea about this specific form, in that case I am not going to file, or will claim the input tax credit in the GSTR 3B return. Okay, so होगा क्या, GSTR 3B में मैं eligible नहीं हूं, I have to file the ITC 01 form. मैंने फाइल नहीं किया. एट द टाइम ऑफ लिटिगेशन डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी विल प्रोवाइड यू वन नोटिस दैट सर आपने ये 3B में इनपुट क्लेम कर ली विच इज नॉट अवेलेबल टू यू, यू नीड टू फाइल द ITC 01 एंड देन you will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. That type of thing we need to have the idea about these forms. कब कहां पर कौन सा फॉर्म, एटलीस्ट जिसमें मैं प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूं, इन दैट केस आई हैव आइडिया अबाउट द जीएसटी। हर 6 मंथ के अंदर आई एम नॉट फाइलिंग द जीएसटी रिटर्न्स, ओके, आई एम जस्ट अ लिटिगेशन रिलेटेड प्रोफेशनल, बट और आई एम ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइडर फॉर प्रोफेशनल, फॉर जीएसटी डिपार्टमेंट, फॉर जीएसटी ऑथोरिटीज, बट in each and every 6 month I am exploring the GST portal for 10 to 12 hours to get the complete idea about the latest things which is there on the GSTN portal, or the effectivity of the points which is there on GSTN portal. Okay, so these forms are also mandatory. There are multiple other returns are there. GSTR7 return, if there will be any TDS TCS deductor, in that case GSTR7 return is there. In case of my input service distributor, in case of non-resident taxable person, in case of casual taxable person, there are multiple returns are there, and we need to have the idea about all these type of returns. At least we have the idea. मुझे नहीं फाइल करना आता, मुझे नहीं पता है component, is that okay, but I need to have the idea that what type of return will be applicable in that particular entity. Okay, so these are the specific returns which is applicable when you will file the GSTR 1 and 3B return. We need to be very much careful. Okay, each and every component should be clear in our mind. Okay, in this particular webinar I am going to share with you the complete insights that these are the things which should be here. Okay, we are also receiving multiple requests from multiple peoples that we need a complete course on GST. Okay, that means around 2 months 3 months ka course we require on GST. So we are also planning for that course, but due to time, because I am completely involved in litigations, so this is the problem, but we are very soon planning for a complete course on GST, that is around 60 days ka course, completely based on question and answers on analytical, technical or conceptual aspects for the professional help. Okay, we are working on that. Kab hota hai I don't know. Now, importance of amendments filing under GST. Sir, if there will be any change in the additional place of business, if there will be any change in the principal place of business, if there will be any change in the contact details, कई बार क्या होता है कॉन्टेक्ट डिटेल में चेंज आता है, बट हम लोग सोचते हैं यार कॉन्टेक्ट डिटेल को क्यों पुट करना, व्हाई वी नीड टू पुट द कॉन्टेक्ट डिटेल्स इन द अमेंडमेंट्स एप्लीकेशन. This is also mandatory. If there will be any change the PAN data, in that case we also need to update our the same in our GST. And suppose the name is Sachin Jain in PAN at the time of filing the registration application, after 2 years the name is, मैंने चेंज कर लिया सचिन कुमार जैन in my PAN card. In that case, I have to update this name in my GSTN application. Okay. If there will be any change in the additional place of business, principal place of business, we need to provide the details. We need to ask with our client that, sir, you have any additional place of business or not? Or you are dealing any person who is going to work as an unregistered for you, that is as a job worker, as a job service provider. अगर है देन इन दैट केस वी नीड टू ऐड द सेम इन द एडिशनल प्लेस ऑफ बिजनेस. वरना होता क्या है, एट द टाइम ऑफ डिपार्टमेंटल ऑडिट, एट द टाइम ऑफ बिजनेस ऑडिट, एट द टाइम ऑफ एनी लिटिगेशन, they are going to ask with you, departmental authority will ask with you, sir, any additional place is there? आप बोलोगे no sir, no additional place is there. Then after that person will check the ledger और उसमें उसको एक नाम मिल गया, suppose XYZ, and that person is going to receive the job work amount. In that case, the departmental authority will ask that, sir, that person is, that taxpayer is providing the job work receipt to that person. In that case, this is a job worker. आप बोलोगे yes. Now you will ask the same with your taxpayer, your client, that sir, this is your additional place. वो बोलेगा yes, but वो GST पोर्टल पे एडेड ही नहीं है. फिर क्लाइंट बोलेगा साहब आपने कभी पूछा ही नहीं. Okay, so we need to ask with our client, there is any additional place of business with you or not, so that the complete amendment should be filed on GST and common portal, or at the time of any litigation we will be in a situation to deal with the case. और अगर नहीं तो departmental authority is ready to charge a penalty of 25,000 CGST, 25,000 SGST. This will be the implication of this silly mistake. So additional place should be there. Also, if there will be any goods which is there on the additional place of business, departmental authority will treat it as deemed supply and charge GST. So 25,000 to normal hai. They will treat the complete goods which is there at the place of that job worker as a supply, and GST will be applicable accordingly. So this is a silly mistake and the implication will be very huge. Suppose during the financial year you have supplied to that particular job worker 1 crore rupees ka goods for job work. Departmental authority will treat it as supply and impose GST. Suppose the rate is 5%, 5 lakh rupees will be charged plus penalty plus interest. Just due to non adding that additional place of business, this will be the implication of this very silly mistake. So if there will be any additional place, if there will be any amendment, suppose if there will be amendment in the director, in a partner, put it on GST and common portal. बिकॉज अगर पार्टनर में चेंज हुआ है तो उस बंदे ने पार्टनरशिप डीड बनाई होगी और डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी कैन इजीली गेट द आइडिया अबाउट दी थ्रू द पार्टनरशिप डीड. So we need to be very much careful about all these type of things. If there will be any amendment, we need to submit it within 15 days. Whenever you will file an application for address change, it should be filed within 15 days from the date of rent agreement. बिकॉज उसको रेंट एग्रीमेंट से पता चल जाएगा कि साहब आपने रेंट एग्रीमेंट बनाया है और वो वहां पर उस सिचुएशन में होगा कि वो आपके ऊपर पेनल्टी चार्ज कर सके. सो वी नीड टू बी वेरी मच हियर केयरफुल. Importance of additional place of business I have already shared. Okay, the first, that person will impose the penalty, that will be my general penalty. वो तो फिर भी सहन करने लायक है, but if that person will deemed that this is a supply, in that case GST will be charged on all the supply made during the financial year. Importance of input tax credit. Merely claiming the input tax credit from the GSTR 2B is not sufficient, or from GSTR 2A is not sufficient. There are a lot of things we need to keep in our mind. Sir, before moving ahead, just confirm me once, because we have around 40 minutes हम लोगों ने साथ में spend किए हैं. Just confirm me once, are you enjoying? Are you getting the concepts? Sir, only reply received from one person. I expect reply from each and everyone. देखो अगर आप बोर भी हो रहे हो, you are free to put the same in the chat box. Because इस पर्टिकुलर वेबिनार में कई सारे ऐसे लोग हैं, दे आर अटेंडिंग माय वेबिनार फर्स्ट टाइम. ओके, मेनी ऑफ यू आर फर्स्ट टाइम. कितने लोग हैं जो आज फर्स्ट टाइम अटेंड कर रहे हैं? सो इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट, जो भी फर्स्ट टाइम अटेंड कर रहे हैं, बहुत वेलकम है आपका इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे. एक बार अब रिश्ता बन गया है तो हम लोग मिलते रहेंगे बार बार. ओके, so thank you sir for coming on this platform. We welcomes you a lot. So now, importance of input tax credit under GST. मैं हमेशा बोलता हूं, this input tax credit is heart of GST. Okay, this input tax credit is heart of GST because हार्ट को भी पूरी बॉडी में घूम करके ब्लड मिलता है. ओके, हार्ट इज गेटिंग द ब्लड आफ्टर रोटिंग फ्रॉम द होल बॉडी. सेम सिचुएशन इज देयर विच विल बी एप्लीकेबल इन केस ऑफ जीएसटी, in case of input tax credit. To claim an input tax credit, first I need to par the section number 16. मैं कुछ sections भी आपके साथ डिस्कस कर रहा हूं for your conceptual clarity. आपको समझ आएगा कि चीजें कहां मूव हो रही है. So first, that input tax credit को claim करने के लिए I need to satisfy section number 16 subsection 1. That means that input tax credit should be used in the course or furtherance of my business. उससे काम नहीं चलेगा. I need to check section number 16 subsection 2 की multiple conditions, that I have received the goods, I have invoiced, the same is reflected in my GSTR 2B statement, not GSTR 2B return. दिस इज जीएसटीआर टू बी स्टेटमेंट. अगर कोई रिटर्न बोल रहा है तो आज से इसको हम लोग कन्वर्ट करेंगे. दिस इज जीएसटीआर टू बी स्टेटमेंट. माय सप्लायर हैज पेड द टैक्सेस एंड फाइल द रिटर्न. दीज आर द 5 मैंडेटरी कंडीशंस. यहां तक भी नहीं, To claim the input tax credit, I need to satisfy the condition to payment to the supplier within 180 days. If I am not going to make the payment within 180 days, I need to reverse the same with interest. Also, input available hai in my GSTR to be return, but the same should not be blocked under section 17 subsection 5. That should be eligible under section 17 subsection 5. I need to check the reversal as per rule number 4243, that the reversal as per rule number 4243 has already been done or not. As per section number 18, all the apportionment has already been done or not. As per section number 17 till section number 17.4, I need to check the personal use, the business use, the exempted supply, the composition supply. So multiple filters are there. और ये सब फिल्टर होने के बाद वो इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट क्लाइंट के जीएसटीआर 3B में पहुंचती है. दैट मींस क्लाइंट के हार्ट में पहुंचती है. Because due to that GSTR 3B business is running. अगर वो GSTR 3B नहीं होगा तो business run नहीं करेगा. Okay, so the point is that this input tax credit plays a very important role, or I suppose you all get this particular concept, the importance of your input tax credit. Hence we need to be very much careful while claiming the input tax credit. अगर मैंने कोई गलत इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट क्लेम कर ली, इफ आई हैव क्लेम्ड एनी रॉन्गली इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट, दिस विल बी अ वेरी डेंजरस सिचुएशन फॉर मी. Okay, just take one example, and with that example I am going to explain the scenario. Suppose you have claimed any wrong input tax credit, wrong due to non-reflection in GSTR 2B statement, due to blocked under section 17 subsection 5, due to 4243. So there are a lot of reasons are there. Now point is that related to financial year 22-23, for April 2022, there is certain input tax credit which is related to April 2022, and I have claimed that input tax credit as 5 lakh rupees. But in my GSTR 2B, the input reflected is 4 lakh rupees. Okay, I have excess claimed input of rupees 1 lakh during April 2022 month. Okay, wrongly claimed excess 1 lakh rupees. Now, in May 2022, that 1 lakh will reflect. बट मैंने तो ऑलरेडी उसको अप्रैल में क्लेम कर लिया था, बट मैं बहुत ही अच्छा टैक्स पेयर हूं. सो मैंने क्या किया, आई हैव पेड इंटरेस्ट ऑन दैट 1 लाख रुपीज एट द रेट ऑफ 18% फॉर 1 month. Okay, because I have wrongly claimed the same in April 2022 month without reflected in GSTR 2B. Hence I have already made a payment of interest at the rate of 18% for 1 month on that 1 lakh rupees. Sir, provide me the reply that I have made the correct treatment. Be fast. फास्ट रिप्लाई देना सर. वी हैव वेरी मिनिमम अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम, बिकॉज आपका भी मैं शायद डिनर का टाइम ले रहा हूं. सर, आई हैव मेड द करेक्ट ट्रीटमेंट. अप्रैल 2022 से रिलेटेड इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट आई हैव क्लेम्ड इन अप्रैल मंथ, बट द सेम वाज रिफ्लेक्टेड इन मे 2022 month. Hence I have made a payment of interest at the rate of 18% on that 1 lakh rupees, because the same is reflected in my May month. So sir, I have made the correct treatment. Just comment me in the chat box. There is no facility of any revised return. I have reflected in my GSTR 3B return with interest. That means I have paid the interest on 1 lakh rupees, which I have claimed excess with comparison to GSTR 2B. Yes sir, anyone else? मेरे अकॉर्डिंग तो मैंने करेक्ट ट्रीटमेंट ही किया है. Interest rate is 18%. No question on interest rate, because there were no any fraud. तो कि 24% रेट लगेगी, 24% रेट लगेगी. Suppose after 2 years departmental authority will come up with the audit, business audit. Okay, और डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी ने क्वेश्चन रेज किया कि मिस्टर सचिन, ड्यूरिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2022-23 in April 2022 month you have claimed an excess input tax credit 1 lakh rupees. मैंने बोला yes sir I have claimed, because मैं सीधा साधा टैक्स पेयर हूं. Yes sir I have claimed 1 lakh rupees excess, but the same was reflected in my May month, or I have made a payment of interest at the rate of 18% on that 1 lakh rupees. Departmental authority said okay, but now Mr. Sachin, You have claimed the 1 lakh rupees ki input tax credit wrongly in April 2022 month. Wrongly. So first you need to reverse in May month. Then you have to claim in May month. But आपने ये किया नहीं. तो मैंने बोला कोई बात नहीं sir. Now I am ready to reverse the same in April month. Can I claim the input tax credit which I have not claimed in May month? Because May month वो 2B में थी. Departmental authority said that sir, for May month the timeline to claim the input tax credit has already been lapsed under section 16 subsection 4. So now at the time of business audit, I need to reverse the input tax rate of 1 lakh rupees and I will not be eligible to claim that 1 lakh rupees which is reflected in GSTR to be written of May month, to be statement of May month. This will be the implication of this silly mistake. जबकि करेक्ट ट्रीटमेंट क्या करना था मुझे मे में आई हैव टू फर्स्ट रिवर्स इन अदर रिवर्सल दैट 1 lakh rupees and I need to claim it 1 lakh rupees and then I need to make a payment of interest at the rate of 18%. This will be the correct treatment as per the provision of law. So this is the implication of a silly mistake. We need to understand because ऐसा हमारे किसी क्लाइंट के साथ हो गया, वो जाएगा उसके साथ 10 लोग और लेके जाएगा. Now sir, purchase register is very much important from GST perspective. Whenever you will check or you will file the GST return, you just need to demand the purchase register from your client as well in Excel, because we need to check, or as per section number 16 subsection 2 we all know, अभी अभी हम लोगों ने पढ़े हैं उसकी कुछ conditions, that as per section number 16 subsection 2 taxpayer will be eligible to claim the input tax credit only and only when the same goods has been received by the taxpayer. Now suppose you are filing the return for April 2024 month. In that month you found any purchase on 30th of April. Your client is registered at Maharashtra. Your client is registered at Maharashtra and that person has bought the goods from Rajasthan. Invoice date is 30th April. Is that possible to receive the goods, the same goods from Maharashtra to Gujarat or to Rajasthan in one day? No. Client has just made the entry in the purchase register based on the invoice date. And we are claiming the input tax credit based on the return submitted by the client. But the point is that client has not received the goods. And without receiving the goods, the client will not be eligible to claim the input tax credit. अब suppose वहां पर कोई बंदा चेक करता है, whenever there will be any business audit, departmental audit, any litigation, they are going to analyze the purchase register. Or when they will check the purchase register, they will directly make a filter on the date in that purchase register. Or through that date analysis, वो find out करेंगे what amount of purchase that person has made at the end of the month. And they will ask that sir, you have received the goods. अपन बोलेंगे no, because transportation documents बोल रहा है this goods has been received as on 3rd of May. Then how you will be eligible to claim the input tax credit in April month? Again same concept will be applicable. You have wrongly claimed the input tax credit in April month without eligibility. So first reverse, और May month में आपने goods receive कर लिया, but you will not be eligible to claim the input tax credit because the timeline to claim the input tax credit as per section 16 subsection 4 has already been lapsed. Sir, you got my point? This is the very much important aspect of your purchase register. Or I suppose we are not carefully check the purchase register of our client. At least at the end of the year, we need to check the purchase register so that if there will be any entry at the end of month, we can demand the relevant documents from our client, or we can make the necessary adjustment in April month, in May month, in June, July, August, September month. इतना time हमारे पास में, October month. We can make the necessary adjustment so that if there will be any litigation in future, we will be in a situation to provide the proper reply कि साहब आपके इस क्वेश्चन का रिप्लाई हमारे इस अगस्त मंथ के GSTR 3B को खोल करके देख लो. So from that perspective, we need to be very much careful. My purpose to take this particular type of subject, to take these type of subjects, because we have every weekend one free webinar, okay? And in that free webinar, we'll only discuss on the technical aspects of GST, so that everyone can get the knowledge about the technical scenario. अब होता क्या है, we are just focusing, क्योंकि अभी तो हम लोग GSTR 3B और 1 पर ही अटके हुए हैं. But the point is that There are a lot of things. देर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. कभी हम लोगों ने सोचने की कोशिश ही नहीं की व्हाट अबाउट वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई, व्हाट अबाउट प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई, व्हाट अबाउट टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई. कभी हम लोगों ने सोचा ही नहीं. वी हैव नॉट फोकस्ड ऑन द टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई, ऑन द वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई, ऑन द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई. बिकॉज हम तो इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट से ऊपर ही नहीं आ रहे. हम लोग कैसे सोचेंगे टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई, वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई. एंड इफ देयर विल बी एनी लिटिगेशन, द बिगेस्ट क्वेश्चन विल बी रेज्ड ऑन द टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई, on the value of supply, on the place of supply. If there will be any goods sent from one branch to another branch in different state, valuation plays a very important role. If there will be any transfer of goods from principal to agent or agent to principal, in that case also this value of supply plays a very important role. If there will be any goods which is received in exchange, this value of supply plays a very important role. If there will be any bank related transaction, this value of supply will be played a very important role. If there will be any cases related to air travel agents, cases related to insurance, cases related to lottery, this value of supply very much important. कई बार हम लोग ऑफिशियल गजट की प्राइस को पकड़ लेते और हम सोचते हैं वी आर डूइंग द करेक्ट ट्रीटमेंट, बट द पॉइंट इज दैट वी आर नॉट डूइंग द करेक्ट ट्रीटमेंट. For that purpose we need to check various valuation rules which is there from rule number 22, 27 till 32. We have various rules. In case of plant and machinery, in case of capital goods, how we need to do the valuation. In case of supply of second-hand goods, how we need to do the valuation. In case of supply of car, motor vehicles, how we need to do the valuation. This is the important point. If there will be any mistake on account of place of supply, suppose I need to charge IGST, but by mistake I have charged CGST as GST. In that case, suppose at the time of departmental authority or departmental audit, which will happen after 2 to 3 years, IGST मैंने wrongly pay कर दिया, you will not be in situation to claim back. And CGST, SGST, which you have not made payment to the government, they will take the same with applicable interest. So this will be the implication of this silly mistake, the difference between the selection of the place of supply. So this is the importance of place of supply. I have to make the payment of GST in April month, but due to wrong determination of time of supply, I am going to make the payment in May month. In that case, there will be implicability of interest. और साहब हम सबको पता है करंट सिनेरियो कॉम्पिटिटिव मार्केट, अगर इफ देर विल बी एनी डिमांड इन द क्लाइंट्स लेजर ड्यू टू अवर मिस्टेक, क्लाइंट छोड़ के जाएगा, पीछे पड़ जाएगा, 4 क्लाइंट और तोड़ेगा. दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम. और मार्केट में दूसरे कैप्चर करने के लिए खूब सारे बैठे हैं. वी ऑल नो दिस पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ फैक्ट. ओके, आर यू एग्री विथ माय कॉन्सेप्ट? आर यू एग्री विथ दिस line? We need to be very much careful while doing the practices related to GST or related to any other thing, because we need to have the idea about these things. अगर उसके कारण कोई भी penalty लग गई, suppose this time of supply, suppose there will be any change in rate of tax, and due to change in rate of tax, suppose earlier the rate was 12%, now the rate is 18%, due to wrong determination of time of supply, आपने बोला now the rate is 12% only, but उस केस में एक्चुअल में 18% होनी चाहिए थी. At the time of business audit, departmental audit, if departmental authority will raise the particular concept, there will be an addition in rate, that is 6%. Or suppose during that particular period, client has sold a goods of 1 crore rupees. In that case, on that 1 crore rupees, 6 lakh rupees ki tax amount plus interest plus penalty will be there. This will be the huge implication. Because nowadays, department is also just focusing on 2B, 3B and all those things. They are not focusing on these things. But now, that 2B, 3B, 1, all these things are technical driven. Okay, technology driven. They have certain tools. They just need to put the data and the reconciliation will be there. Now they are focusing on these type of things. And also government is providing a very quality training to those particular authorities. Socho na, I am also a faculty for Maharashtra, for Tamil Nadu, for Telangana. When I am providing these type of insights to the tax authorities, so there are a lot of faculties are there, and they are providing the insights. So this is my moral responsibility to provide these things to as well you, that these are the technical aspect. We need to be very much careful. Okay. Now, so the importance of place of supply, importance of value of supply, importance of time of supply, we have done. Various forms under GST we have already covered, that is related to ITC related forms, registration related forms, amendment related forms. So there are a lot of forms are there. We need to be very much careful for those forms as well. Scrutiny of returns. Nowadays, we all know that multiple notices are received from the departmental authority regarding scrutiny of returns. And in many situations, in maximum amount of time, we are not getting these details on our mail ID. This will be reflected on GST and common portal only. So this is advisable from my side that you need to check the GST and common portal once in month. Okay. Also, you may guide these things to your clients, to your customers, so that they can easily check these particular type of things. Scrutiny of returns, business audit. While preparing the reply related to scrutiny of returns, because I am also checking certain things. Okay. So point is that when we are providing the reply to the departmental authority due to lack of knowledge related to drafting techniques, due to lack of knowledge related to provision of law, जब तक हम लोग ये नहीं सीख जाते हैं, one thing we may do, we just need to provide that work to someone else who is expert in this particular field, so that that person can prepare the proper reply for scrutiny of returns. Sir, what will be the logic for this? कहीं आप ऐसा तो नहीं हमारा काम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हो? So the basic logic for this particular thing is that nowadays your reply for the scrutiny of returns will plays a very important role in each and every step of litigation. उस scrutiny के reply से if departmental authority is not going to satisfy, in that case you need to file the appeal before the appellant authority. You need to go to the appellant tribunal, to high court, to supreme court. जब आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी डील कर रहे होगे, एट दैट टाइम द रिप्लाई विच इज प्रोवाइडेड बाय यू टू द डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी विच प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. So we need to be very much careful whenever there will be a notice. First get the particular idea of the law, and then after you will be in a situation to provide the reply. So scrutiny related, business audit related things, we need to provide the proper reply. Whenever you will submit a single document to the departmental authority, take the acknowledgement. Without acknowledgement, we are not going to provide a single document to the departmental authority. This will be a proof for us. टेक्निक्स टू ग्रो योर प्रैक्टिसेस. सर मुझे नहीं लगता मुझे इसके बारे में कुछ बात करने की जरूरत है, because during the complete session we have covered each and every aspect, that how you can capture your client, how you can multiply your client. because मैं यहाँ पर कोई मार्केटिंग टेक्निक्स आपको नहीं बताने वाला हूँ, because I have no idea about any marketing techniques. I have idea that how I can market myself. That is the important things, because when you will start market yourself, in that case your skills, your techniques will automatically work. So we need to do our practice like in that particular way, so that we can attract the clients. This is the complete conclusion of this particular webinar, that whenever we'll start our practice or while doing the practice, we need to focus on the technical, on the analytical, on the conceptual aspects. Or through these particular type of discussion, I suppose the concept of technical, analytical and the conceptual clarity is clear in your mind. और आपको एक इंसाइट मिली होगी, कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन मिली होगी, that how we can boost our practices, what type of things we can consult with our client. Whenever you will discuss the provision related to value of supply with your client, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं आपको सेक्शन में बात करनी है. You just need to ask your question, your client, that how you are going to value this particular product. This will create an impact on your client कि यार ये जो प्रोफेशनल है ये मेरे बिजनेस में इंटरेस्ट ले रहा है. This person is going to add on in my business. This will be a technique for market yourself, to market your skills. कभी विजिट करके वैसे ही बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स चेक करके हम लोग देख सकते हैं whether the determination of time of supply is perfect. In a certain amount of transactions, the client is charging the time of supply, place of supply correctly. जो वो रिफंड क्लेम कर रहा है, whether this particular person is eligible for refund or not. कई सारे ऐसे हमारे क्लाइंट हैं जो रिफंड के लिए एलिजिबल है, बट ड्यू टू लैक ऑफ नॉलेज हमको खुद को ही पता नहीं है कि साहब वो रिफंड के लिए एलिजिबल है, हम उसको गाइड नहीं कर पाते हैं. कभी हमने वैसे ही बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स चेक कर ली कि यार यू आर एलिजिबल फॉर क्लेमिंग द रिफंड. Suppose there is any cess is there in the books of accounts of your client, how we can reverse the same? क्योंकि वो unnecessary बैलेंस शीट में पड़ा है, उससे कुछ आना जाना नहीं है. That amount is unnecessary standing in the GSTR 9 written in the GSTR 3 be written in the credit ledger. उसको कैसे रिवर्स करना है? We may suggest our client. क्लाइंट को सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत आ रही है रिकंसिलेशन ऑफ GSTR 3B and 2B. We just need to put certain additional ledgers in the books of accounts. अनयूटिलाइज्ड इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट, अनक्लेम्ड इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट, और हम एंट्रिया ट्रांसफर करवा सकते हैं. दिस विल ऑल्सो बी एन वैल्यू एडिशन इन द सर्विसेज. लिटिगेशन के टाइम पे दिस विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर मी, एज वेल एज दिस विल क्रिएट एन इम्पैक्ट इन द माइंड ऑफ योर क्लाइंट. आपके उस क्लाइंट के 100 क्लाइंट के साथ रिलेशन है, वो बात करेगा यार मेरा जो लीगल कंसल्टेंट है, मेरा जो जीएसटी प्रैक्टिशनर है, मेरा जो बंदा है, वो दैट पर्सन इज डूइंग द वर्क वेरी effectively. That person is guiding me related to each and everything. If you are serving in an industry, in that case this technique will help in your promotion. I am also a trainer for the job seekers and for the various professionals to get remuneration increment in your business. So these are the things we need to be very much careful from GST aspect. So sir, 8 o'clock we have concluded. I request everyone, if you have any question, just put the same in the chat box. And if no question is pending, then I suppose whatever will be your feedback for our today's webinar, just put it in the chat box, because this will very much important for me. So I request everyone, whatever will be your feedback for the session, just put the same in the chat box. And very soon we are coming with a complete course on GST for 2 months. And in that 2 months, we'll cover each and every aspect of GST very soon. Okay, we are planning for that. And जब भी time permit करेगा, we'll share with you the information. Or after this particular session, you will receive one feedback link on your mobile number as well. And also you will receive this PDF file on your registered mail ID. Okay. So I request everyone, whatever will be your feedback for this particular webinar, just put it in the chat box. 1 hour, मैंने बोला है. 30 seconds is for you. Whatever will be your feedback, just put it in the chat box. Also, if you require that particular PDF file, जिस व्हाट्सएप नंबर से आपके पास में सेशन को ज्वाइन करने का लिंक आया था, आप उस पर रिक्वेस्ट भी रेज कर सकते हैं. प्लीज शेयर द पीडीएफ फाइल सो दैट यू विल रिसीव दैट पीडीएफ फाइल. ओके, ऑल्दो विल शेयर ऑन रजिस्टर्ड मेल आईडी, बट कई बार वो स्पैम में चला जाता है. सो you can do one thing, you just need to provide one text on that particular WhatsApp number from which you have received the link to join the session. It will be helpful for you. Thank you, sir, for your valuable feedback. If anyone wants to put the yes sir, this will be technology driven. Okay, multiple things. Your GSTR1 sales की invoices automatically और e-way bill से आ जाएगी और e-invoice से आ जाएगी. So now there will be no requirement to GSTR1. You just need to verify, so the taxpayer can easily verify the same. Okay, through your GSTR1, your output will automatically auto-populated in your GSTR3B. Your RCM related liability will automatically auto-populated from registered related to freight or all those things. You just need to put the unregistered related RCM. Related to input tax credit, when your counterparty will prepare the e-way bill or e-invoice, in that case the same will be automatically reflected in your GSTR2B statement, so that automatically your GSTR3B will be prepared. So conclusively, everything will be technology driven, technology based. Yes, so maximum things will be based on the technology driven. Certain things we need to put. Okay, बट द पॉइंट इज दैट जो इनिशियली मेरा जीएसटी आया था, उस समय जो मेरे को GSTR1 और 3B में करना पड़ रहा था, शायद वो कॉम्प्लिकेशन आज नहीं है, और आज से 2 साल बाद में ये कॉम्प्लिकेशन भी नहीं रहेगी. दैट इज व्हाट इज द थिंग आई वांट टू से. इन मैक्सिमम केसेस वी कैन फाइल रिटर्न वेरी इजीली, बट द पॉइंट इज दैट हम लोग कितना प्रोविजन ऑफ लॉ के साथ उस रिटर्न को फाइल कर रहे हैं, दैट इज द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. So thank you everyone for joining the session, for learning with us. We'll meet on next weekend. We'll share with you the details of next webinar on your WhatsApp number. So thank you everyone for your valuable feedbacks. Thank you for joining. We'll meet you soon in another webinar, in another session, in another seminar, physical event. If you have any question, any doubt in future related to GST, you may connect with me over the WhatsApp number which is provided to you, okay, through which you have received the joining link. On that WhatsApp number, you just need to connect with me. This is the WhatsApp number dedicated, specifically dedicated for the Batuk Academy. That is official mobile number. You just need to put the query. In a very relevant time, we'll provide you the reply. Okay. We have one question on YouTube from Nagraji. I request Nagraji, can you please provide this particular query on my WhatsApp number? We'll discuss over that. Because on YouTube, I'm not able to check the query. There is just number is there, but I'm not able to check the query. So this is my request that you just need to put the same in my on my WhatsApp number. Will definitely provide you the reply. So thank you everyone. We have one YouTube channel, Consult with Batuk. You may search on the YouTube Consult with Batuk. You can subscribe that particular YouTube channel. Around 200 videos are there related to GST, and you can watch and you can explore multiple things. Okay. So thank you everyone. We'll meet you soon. Bye bye. Good night. Take care.